What's happening, FightWeek Show fans, FightWeek Show people, them, and look what the cat has dragged in. And we got Stokey, Wonderboy, Damien Mangan. How you doing, my boy?
I'm doing all right. You?
Yeah, man. This is good to have you back. It's good to have you back. And since you've been away, for people that that don't quite know you or haven't seen you on our channel before, could you just recap with our fans, what you've been up to and how this last victory, how sweet does it feel for you? What you've been up to and everything. A recap for our audience and our fans.
To be fair, I've just been putting in a graph for a couple of weeks, just training as hard as I can, ready for that fight the other weekend. Won by a second round knockout. Love to see that against older opponents. But yeah, just more to come now. More to come. Just the start of a new takeover.
It's incredible because when I saw the poster and I saw the guy, shout out to the guy you was fighting as well.
Yeah.
Another Eric's Gear sponsee, because I saw him in the Eric's Gear shorts.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. And both of you guys, big up to Richard Rag and Kofi Houghton. I see the post they made. They came to support you at the fight as well. So salute to those guys. We just had Joffy on our show on the watch along this weekend on the Easy Fight. We're going to touch on that in a little while. But the way, the aggression you showed, the way that you attacked and approached this fight was absolutely brilliant to see. I've seen a lot of your fights, but this one was crazy aggressive, man. What was the thinking behind? What was that something you guys worked on in terms of your aggression and measured aggression to really get to this opponent and make sure that you impose yourself on him?
To be fair, first 2 rounds I was supposed to touch him 50%, not even as powerful, because I was trying to figure him out. And then once when I saw the opening of that body shot, I was just like, all right, I've got you now. I'm coming in for you. And then I ran at him, and then I was going near him, but obviously he was falling down already, so I didn't knee him. I just kicked him. And then I got the standing 8 count, and then I jumped up and I was like, I'm just going to come in, And then obviously we drilled the left hook and the head kick, and then that head kick just landed sweet on the chin. But yeah, more to come, as I said.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I just love the way you approached that fight, the way you executed it as well, because it's that finish is something to behold. And people, if you haven't seen this finish, if you haven't seen this fight, go on my story or go on Damien's Instagram. Go check on his Instagram. Go follow him. Go follow his page. Check out his reels. It's gonna be there on his page. It's really, really impressive, people. You really need to go and see it to really know and understand what we're talking about. But I wanted to bring it back a little bit to like your previous fights, where you learned 1 or 2 things from those situations. What did you take from those losses and applying to this fight?
Just be more focused and try hit to hurt people instead of trying to score. Scoring's one thing, obviously, but if I can score and also hurt you, that different ball game, innit?
Right.
If I just had a roundhouse and then off my hands instead of throwing high kicks without setting things up. Now I'm thinking about throwing 1 punch and then throwing 2 punches and then adding a kick at the end. You get me? I've just adapted to a different level. With my fight IQ, what to do, ring control, clinch, everything, and always thinking whenever I'm in there. It's like a little puzzle. Like I know what I'm doing, and now I think them 2 losses were the best things for me, because now I'm just different level now, just different level. And as we were saying after as well in the other interview with Leapfrog, what Harry said, no other 16-year-old hits like me. I'm most probably one of the hardest hitting 16-year-olds out there in Thai boxing.
It's incredible. It's incredible the amount of power you generate when you do that. But I wanted to ask you more about, what you just said in terms of fight IQ and how you have to apply whether to go in for the finish or go fight for scoring. Right. So at what point during the fight do you change your mind? Maybe to think, you know what, I'm just gonna outpoint this guy now, or I'm just gonna finish the fight. Is it you putting everything in and the guy is still, your opponent is still there in front of you? You can't get rid of him. Is that when you change your mind and start thinking, you know what, let me start trying to outpoint this fella, or when does that change in your mind during the fight?
Well, obviously, it just happens, don't it? You're getting that 3rd round, and then you just both giving each other, and then I'll just think, instead of trying to scrap with you, I'm just going to outscore you, get me? Like round kick, body kicks. I'll just go into the clinch, because now, obviously, I now clinch now, as I didn't, so I'm not scared to, like, clinch if I have to clinch to, like, win the fight, because I think I'm very good in the clinch now, and I think a lot of people are going to struggle with my clinch work, and especially on top of my boxing, that's how I'll hurt people. But in that 5th round or 4th, that's when I'm like focusing more on scoring. Like I'm thinking about scoring all round, you get me? But that's where I want to like show the judges I'm winning this fight, I'm taking over, because that's all it's about really.
Yeah.
If you're in that 5th round, it's like 5% you're going to knock them out or something my age. So, and you're tired as well, so just need to think about scoring. And
Gotcha. I mean, look, your fight there was incredible, and they always say, in combat sports, even when you lose, you don't lose, you learn. You learn from those losses. That's what it's about in this sport. You can never take your losses to heart. You just have to find something valuable in that loss to bring to your next fight, and we can see that the way you approach this fight was fantastic, and you definitely learned a valuable lesson in that fight to bring into this fight.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you a couple more things before we get to some of the questions I wanted to ask you. Your opponent, you secured a win bonus in your last fight from Eric's gear. How will you turn that bonus into bigger bonuses in the coming future? Maybe your next fight that you've got one coming up on the 18th of November. We're going to push that on our page like we always do for your fights. But how do you turn that bonus that you got there into bigger bonuses? Because at the end of the day, Damien, you're still a prize fighter. You always want your prize at the end of your wins and your victories. So tell me how you turn those bonuses into bigger ones in your upcoming fights.
Just keep on laying people out. Keep on putting a performance on. Keep humble. Carry on training. Don't let this win get too big for my boots. And get back in the gym and let's work. Let's work on new things, better things, and how to adapt into a new style, or how to improve my style, or how to improve my clinch, or whatever I need to improve on my fight IQ or how I fight. So that's how. Just carry on doing what I'm doing, and then that's how I'm going to be getting them big paychecks.
100%, 100%. And look, anybody that this is for me one of the most impressive young 16-year-olds out there.
Thanks.
When it comes to this combat sport, he's softly spoken, as you can hear, but he is militant when he's in that cage, when he's in that ring, and he's got them gloves on. He turns into something else. You only have to go and watch his fights to really see, how he puts on in fights. Damien, uh, I wanted to ask you about some of the fights that's circulated lately. In and around MMA, we've seen Pantoja beat Brandon Moreno. We've seen O'Malley beat Aljamain Sterling. We've seen Strickland beat Izzy Adesanya. Like that's the boy back there.
Crazy.
Mate, tell me what you're making of this new landscape of MMA. MMA is a crazy sport, but tell me what you've made of it all these crazy upsets that you've
what
been
we
seeing.
learnt back last weekend, anything can happen. Anything can happen in MMA.
What's your take on it?
Anyone can lose, really. Like, even if you're top dog, like we Izzy the other weekend, he got too comfortable, I think, and that's why that happened. I don't think he trained hard, to be fair. I think he just walked in there. But anything can happen in the fight game. Once when you go in there, if you aren't putting the graft, or some do put in the graft, but if you aren't putting the graft, it's just you're not going to perform the best. And obviously, how it works. But I'd never do that. No, I'd always put in the graft. But,
let me ask you this question.
Yeah,
You're the first person I'm going to ask this, and I'm probably going to ask a few more people along the way to get their take on it as well. But do you think Izzy being on a one fight win streak, because he did lose his title, got it back from Pereira, and now on a one fight win streak, then lost to Strickland? Do you think he deserves an immediate rematch?
Well, that's what's going to happen. But I'd like to see someone else like fight for the belt instead of Izzy, because the middleweight division's a bit dead, but now it's like lifted up again. Like, but I think it'll be the rematch. But it's just right though. Like, you've lost your belt, redemption. But I don't know who would win the rematch.
I agree with you. I think Izzy should now go back to the back of the queue, because for you to get immediate rematch, in my opinion, you need to have racked up a few defenses.
Yeah.
Izzy is only on a one fight win streak because he got his immediate rematch. He used the immediate rematch privilege when he got it with Pereira because of the amount of defenses he's had. Now he's used off that lifeline. You need to go back to the back of the queue and fight your way back up, maybe 1 or 2 fights back to the belt, just like Whittaker had to do. Just, the same way everybody's got to do it.
Who would you match him with, though? Who would you match him with?
I'll put him between. I'll give him the winner between Chimaev and Paulo Costa. He can wait for the winner of that fight. Dricus du Plessis should be getting Strickland, in my opinion, and then that way the middleweight can breathe again. Middleweight division can breathe again.
Yeah.
Even Robert Whittaker can come back in the frame. Maybe after Dricus, he'd love to have Robert Whittaker ain't had a crack at Strickland yet, so. There's a whole bunch of new matches that could happen while Izzy is trying to get his way back to the top. But that's what I think. I think you should definitely.
I think that win would have broken him, to be fair, because you weren't expecting to lose against them. I wasn't expecting it. I was shocked when I woke up in the morning. Obviously, I didn't watch it at night.
It's
I just felt on Instagram. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, it's what we love about this sport. It's what we love about MMA, and every fight and literally anything can happen. You just don't know.
Anything.
We've seen Pena submit Amanda Nunes. Like there's so much that can happen in this sport, man. It's crazy. You wanted to say something?
What you
Did you
say?
want to say something? No, I thought you wanted to say something. Let me ask you this next question, and I'm conscious of the time, so
Yeah.
I'll be letting you leave very very soon. What can your fans expect now that you've made all this big wave, all this wave that you now have? What can your fans expect from you? And do you have any future names in mind that post your fight on the 18th of November? Do you have any names in mind that you like to see? Maybe perhaps into early part of 2024.
Yeah, I've got names in mind, obviously, but just want to get this fight out of the way before I say that name. You get me? Because I just want to stay on track with one person, keep my mind focused on one person. But it won't be a big guess who most probably will. He's been wanting to fight me for all years, so
Yeah,
he most probably knows. But
yeah,
yeah, what my fans can obviously see in the future of my performance is the graft. I'm always going to be putting in the graft. Obviously, selling more tickets now. I've got more eyes on me because after that fight, I had loads of people asking for tickets for the next one. So that's good. Knowing I'm doing something right. Even like people I don't speak to. So obviously, I'm going to put in the graft. Work as hard as I can. Hill sprints and every morning, running, training, train like a madman. Like no, I train like no 16-year-old does,
yeah.
and obviously, hopefully, knocking people out or winning. Anything will get me that win. I'm prepared to do anything for
100
get to the level where I want to get to. So, and it will come. It will come, without a doubt.
100%. Well, we're gonna be right there with you, man, when it happens, man. You know what I mean? We've been on this journey with you, and just seeing you grow in your fight game and your fight IQ, fight after fight, win after win, chucking the losses in there because these are your learning curves, and the work your coaches has been doing with you as well. I gotta give him a shout out. Your coach did reach out to us.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get back to him. So big up to your coach. Um, Stone Strength and Conditioning. Shout out to those guys over there as well. I see the work that they do with you. Your boy Perko. Um, like both of you, like you guys are like joined at the hip.
yeah,
And every time you guys, I see what you guys are doing in the gym. You're doing incredible work over there. So shout out to all those guys over there. Warfare Academy, my boy Tom Burton. Salute to him. Look, you've got fantastic thing going on over there, and what I want you to do is just focus, keep doing what you're doing, and every single time that you go out to compete, you're exciting to watch, and
yeah,
people need to get on the Damien Mangan train, man, before he leaves
yeah.
the station. People, please go and get on the Damien Mangan train before
Come
he
on.
leaves the station, man. I'm telling you, you don't want to wait till Damien gets famous and shit before you start coming to look for Damien, man. Now is the time. Look, the FightWeek Show has
Now,
a mission to always respect and put on for fighters who aren't famous here, who aren't there yet. The work that we do on our channel is always look at fighters like yourself, even fighters out of the EFC. Shout out to Terence Balelo. He just had a championship fight with Gift Walker. I don't know if you saw some of the promotion on our page, but what we try to do is put on for fighters that aren't really there yet, that aren't famous yet. But we're also having fun with it, and all you guys are great to watch. How can we get better, in your opinion, at this sort of mission that we're doing for fighters? What do you think the Fight We Show could do better?
I think
Tell us.
You know, like how you see like Leapfrog in like FightWeek Show. I'll get on that, you know, because obviously you've got the experience now, like speaking to fighters. You obviously know, after speaking to like Joffrey, Tom Burton, and all them, you know like what they're thinking. So if you just get yourself at some venues, then that would increase you as well, and other fighters as well. You get me? Like even if it was like your local show or something, just get speaking like after pre-fight interviews. You get me?
I like that. I like that.
I think that's you
yeah,
all over. I do.
Yeah, man. I like that, man. And that's a good bit of advice there, and we are going to work on that, man. I like that, and this is why I like you know, fighters like yourself that always has. You guys are problem solvers, even in the cage on the fly. Problem solvers, critical thinkers, and I love that about you, man. I love that about you. And look, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for your time. I'm very, very conscious that you've got to get off and do what you're doing on your daily basis. Salute to you. Big up to your coaches, and I want to congratulate you again on that win.
You.
That win was fantastic. That was
more to come. That's 50%. More to come.
100%. Before we go, do you want to tell the people where they can find you, what you got coming up, and everything else? Please, close yours.
On Instagram, obviously, most of you all know, Damien Mangan. Fighting in November, Sandy Show, Unlimited Fight Night, fighting on there. And then that's my last fight of the year until I have a little break, because I've fought like, I don't even know how many times this year. And obviously Warfare Academy, Stone Gym in India.
Yeah, man, fantastic.
Thanks for having me on anyway.
Yeah, man, big up, man, big up every time, man, anytime. And people, we've come to the end of the show. It's been Damien Mangan, Stokey Wonderboy. Go jump on his page. Go check out his last fight. It's crazy. And up until the next video, people. Hasta la vista. We're out. Salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brad Walk from Cage Warriors. You're watching the Fight Week Show. Like, share, and subscribe for all that good stuff. You do not want to miss it.